To kick off our drill series, we're gonna start simple. Drill number 1 is called 3R33. To do this, you're gonna be able to draw and put your first few rounds, 3 rounds on target pretty quickly. Reload, then be able to shoot strong hand, transfer the gun to your support hand, and shoot weak hand. Setup for this drill is gonna be 1 USPSA target and your shooting line at 10 yards. Stick, cone, line on the ground, doesn't matter. Starting position is gonna be wrists below belt, then you can go ahead and start and hit that timer. Once you're done shooting, then walk up, show your time on the camera, and calculate your hits. Every shot in the A zone is worth 5 points. Every shot in the C zone is worth 3. D zone is worth 1. And then for this one, any misses is minus 10 points. First place gets first pick from our prizes. Then we go down the list after that. So Leupold's giving away a DP Pro, 1 per month. Vertx is giving away a $500 gift card. And then we're giving away our BAER Wojtek belts, and Agonic is giving away EDB belts. So the reason we're doing this drill is because we want to test some different skills. So where it came from, one time in a match, we shot a USPSA classifier called baseball standards. And baseball standards, if you shot it before, if you can do that in the par times they say to do it in, you probably have all the basic shooting skills down. You can draw, engage a target, single hand, all that stuff. So basically what it is you shoot 4 strings of fire. 1, you draw, and it's a bill drill at 10 yards, strong hand. 1 is a bill drill, weak hand at 10 yards. And then at 20 yards, you do draw 6 rounds. And then the other one is draw 3, reload 3. All of them have a 4.5 second par time. That's a lot of setup, right? That's 4 targets, 4 strings of fire. So we kind of combined it and condensed it and said, oh, well, let's simplify a little bit. 10 yards, draw 3 rounds, reload 3, transfer 3, right? So our thought is if you can do that pretty quickly, you probably have the very basic skills necessary to draw your gun, shoot your gun. You can shoot strong and weak-handed, all that stuff. So that's where it came from. We really just wanted to condense it down, make it a lower round count drill that accomplishes some of the same things.
So baseball standards drill.
Yeah.
How did you do on that drill?
I actually did not so hot, right? Like, so pulled up and I took that for granted big time. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I practiced it. I'm sure if I did it now, I'd probably do a lot better, but it didn't go so well. I really took for granted like my ability to shoot single hand. And then on top of that, training to shoot single hand, strong and weak, it makes shooting with both hands just easy as shit. Like it's so much easier to do. So yeah, it makes you better. Right? So practice it, got a lot better, and noticed some big improvements all around by doing it. So now let's actually break down our skills that we're gonna need to shoot the drill. So the first thing we do on the buzzer is that you draw and you fire 3 rounds. Now, most of y'all practice this, you can draw, do all that stuff. So let's talk about something that's gonna help make us a little bit quicker. So some of my friends in the industry that I kind of picked up on what they said, Joel Park and then Velox, so Nick over there, they both kind of say the same thing, and I've heard it from others too. On that first shot especially, well, 1, we know that we've got to get our grip established for all the rounds, not just the first. So that's critical. However, let's not over-confirm our sights on your first shot. Look for that flash of red in the A zone, and that's your cue to shoot. But you should be drawing in a way that when you present, you're pretty confident that dot's going to be right where it's at. So avoid over-confirming and then like establishing your grip at the end and tightening down. As soon as you see that flash of red, begin firing so we can get ahead a little bit on that. If you don't have a red dot on your pistol, well, you got irons, no big deal, right? I see the iron sights the same as I do my red dot. As soon as I see that sucker up there with equal height, equal light, right? And I see that front sight post pretty inside of the rear, that's good enough for me, right? Let it go. But let's stay a little bit more target focused on this as you fired those instead of having to focus back on the front sight and take each shot very, very deliberately. Trust yourself, get the sights up there, and let 3 rounds go, and you might be surprised that you get them in the A zone. So that's gonna bring us right to our reload. So once we fire 3 rounds, we then reload and put in a fresh magazine. I'm sure a lot of you guys practice your reloads at home in dry fire and things like that, and if you don't, you should, right? There's different ways to do it. Some people like to keep the gun more out as they do it, kind of like Travis Tomasi does, and then some people like to bring it in a little bit closer and a little bit tighter in, kind of like Steve does in that video we did with him not too long ago, Steve Norvell. So with that, I'll say one thing. Just so you're being a little bit more consistent, you have that gun out, and when you go to your reload, the support hand should move a little bit faster than the firing hand. And when you bring that up, pause it right there for a split second before you insert and go out. So give it a little bit of that pregnant pause just to make sure you don't miss it as you go in.
Did I just hear pregnant pause?
Pregnant. Men can be pregnant. Did you know that? For the record, pregnant pause is just something I heard in the military. But someone had said in the military, take a pregnant pause, right? I don't know where it came from, but just part of the lexicon now, part of the verbiage. Now we're gonna shoot single-handed. So I'm sure some of you guys out there and gals maybe have a little issues with this, right? So I'm gonna give you a couple tips on that. First things first, some people like to brace their arm and lock their arm out when they shoot single-handed. And sometimes you'll even see them bring the shoulder up so everything's in line a little bit better. That's completely fine. If you don't like doing that and you prefer to put a little bit of a bend in the elbow and a little bit more head up and gun up as you shoot, you can do that too. One thing I'll tell you is, I find when I do that, if I just kind of flex my bicep, that seems to lock the whole arm in place, but no matter what, I gotta make sure my wrist is locked. The next part of that is gonna be simply how we hold the gun. Shooting single-handed, you might find sometimes that you just grip the gun extremely hard. That might work for you. It doesn't work for me. So what I do is I find I feel better, I feel more comfortable, and everything feels more natural, and even my shots are a little bit better too, if I just focus on these fingertips, and instead of pulling into the gun straight back this way, I'm wrapping those fingertips and kind of pinching them inwards to the side of the gun. Now we transfer the gun to the other hand. Two ways to do this. There's probably other ways too, but these are the two ways that I generally show people. If you got other ways, put it down in the comments. So first things first, as I start here, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up my hand just like that, making sure my finger is outside the trigger guard. I like to put it right there on the frame or even on the front of the trigger guard is fine. But all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it open, and then so this left hand can come right in and fill that gap. Think of it almost like a support hand grip coming out, but not really. I'm just gonna open that up here and pull it straight into the other hand. The other way to do that is instead of going open to the side, I'm gonna go down. So from here, I can just hold the bottom, fit, and bring the gun right back up. Either one of those is fine. I'm a fan, if you have a safety on the gun, always use it, right? So as we do that, gun goes on safe as the finger comes over and comes right back down. For the other method, again, gun goes on safe and then gun comes back on. One more time, gun goes on safe, safety goes back off. So now, talking about shooting weak-handed, right, or your support hand. So everything we talked about strong hand is going to apply. The big thing that kind of messes people up here is which eye do you use? Can I squint my eye? Do I see normal both eyes? Yeah, got it. Ideally, you want to keep both eyes open when you're shooting, right? Now, I can do that. And if I want to use my right eye, I'll just turn, instead of like looking here, I'll turn my head a little bit more so I can use my right eye on target. But I can also use my left eye to see through and make it my dominant eye as I shoot. You can do either one, you can practice either one. A quick way to do that is just hold your gun up, get down behind your sight. If it's the sight on the left, you're using your right eye. If it's the sight on the right, you're using your left eye. And then just go back and forth and kind of dry fire that, and you might be shocked how quickly you'll pick that up. So now let's go ahead and get into our training session, right? We're gonna run this a couple times, maybe 3-4 times. If I'm doing poorly at it, and I get angry, then we'll probably do it more. But we're gonna go through this and we'll shoot it. Then each time I'm gonna talk about what I did, what I could have done better, and then try and fix that or improve on it or push it on the next one. So let's see what happens. So, I'm gonna load it up. All right, got that. Timer set. Let's check it out. Stand by. All right, so looking at that, I feel pretty good about the hits on that. Time 797, and looks like we got all alpha, right? So big thing with that. Yep, everything's in the A zone, right? We'll just paste up whatever's outside the A zone from here on out. But this was all the first 6 rounds. That was the 2 with the left hand, and I felt my dot float a little bit off to the side, and I just kept letting them go. But then we corrected, and we had 1 up here. So overall, pretty good. We got 2 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? So we're good to go. Now, for the next one, or for that, I felt like the single hand, I really focused on pinching those fingers that little bit, especially on that left hand, right? And on that left hand, I kind of let off and remembered it, so that kind of affected some of the shots. So for this one, looking at that, our first shot was in 134, 165, and 191. I'm going to focus on the first 3 rounds and try and get that first shot off just a little bit quicker and see what happens. Stand by. All right, so that opened up a good bit, and we're at 706, right? So 706. Let's go check them out. We've got 3 Charlies this time. So the first 3 rounds that we shot, I held right about in here. Then I had 2 in the A and then 1 outside. And then with my shooting with my strong hand, right hand, I had 1 of these, and shoot with my left hand, I had 1 of these up here. So that would be a 706 with, is that 9 rounds? So 6 times 5, 30 plus, so 39 points. Let's go add that up real quick. 6 times 5, 30 plus 333, 39. Damn, what was my time in the last one, Tom? Anyway, we'll look that up on the thing, but that was all hits, so that was 45 points. We'll add up the math here at the end, but 706, 39, we'll add up the math and put it on there. First shot. So now our first shot was 127, 148, and 167. So instead of being that 191 by the 3rd shot, now we're at 167 for the 3rd shot. All right. I'm going to play with this one. I'm going to lock the arm out a little bit more, Tom, just to see how it goes from there. Right? So let's see what happens if I feel more comfortable locking that arm out straight. All right. All right. So 803. They were all alphas minus this guy up here, which was with my support hand left as soon as I fired. I think it was the first one. I was like, you idiot, right? But other than that, they were all alphas. So that means that was a 43 points total in 803. Let's go write that down. All right, let's do it one more time, then we'll add up our points. You want to just see what happens on this one? Just push it and let Jesus take the wheel, huh? Let's see if we can get it in the 6s. And just for the hell of it, right? I'm going to do my best on hits, but I'm just going to shoot at a pace and see what happens. This is probably going to be not great. All right. Cool. Stand by. Oof. Time, 6:37. So that was actually a lot better than I thought. I should have pasted all of them up to see, but one, now that's a Charlie. So Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. So I had 3 Charlies again. So yeah, so that turns out to 39 points. So let's write that down. 637, 39 points, and let's do some math and see what was the best way to run it and compare our times. So we're gonna go ahead and go over our times, points divided by time equals hit factor, right? I'm gonna go ahead and say this first. There's a lot of guys out there that are like like on this hit factor stuff. They can look in points of time and explain this better than me. So ask them, right? And hopefully if you know that and you're looking at it, hey man, give a great explanation for this and let us know. Let's go ahead and go over it. Joel Park's like that. Nick can do that. All those people. So competition shooters. All right, so the first one we did, we had 45 points in a 7.97 seconds. That gave us a 5.646 hit factor. Our second run, we focused more on time, right? And really was trying to be a little quicker about it. Yet we sacrificed a little bit on the hits. So we had 39 points in 7.06. That's like 0.9 seconds, right? Like almost a full second faster. And we dropped 6 points. Well, our hit factor came out to a 5.524. So it was only 0.1 away from the first run we did. Granted, the hit factor's higher on the first run, so that should tell you something. Third run was 43 points out of 803, which gave us a 5.354, so 5.3-ish. And then our last run, we went pure speed, right? And got 39 points. Granted, those 39 points, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a little quicker on some of the, especially the support hand, than I was comfortable shooting. You know, like I was really pushing it. Wasn't guaranteeing a whole lot. So that gave us a 6.122. 39 points in 6.37 seconds, 6.122. So get out there, shoot it. Let us know your time's doing. Again, put this math in the description when you do your videos, and we're looking forward to see what you do. Do great things for your country, all that stuff. Let's go ahead and get into our gear breakdown and be done. This video for our gear breakdown, first thing we're using is our training journal, right? So training journal, you're gonna love it. You write stuff down. Who doesn't love a good notebook? But we got little dots instead of lines. That way you can make lines and draw out courses of fire and drills and all that other stuff. Top of that, we got our staccato P right here. Love mine, DP Pro on top. This thing is just from the factory, how I got it, and with that sucker. Shooters Global shot timer right here. This thing's been really good. I gotta say, man, I bought this thing. I'm not even sure if I ever charged it. I got it like 2 years ago. I used it for like a few months, threw it in a bag, haven't touched it, then pulled it back out like 6 months ago, and this thing still has battery. It's actually kind of crazy how much battery it has. Mags are just staccato mags, all that stuff. We're using the Blade Tech system on our Wojtek belt here. So for this one, this has the tech mount discs. If you haven't seen these little guys, you can unclip this, but you can like turn these things 360, these little discs, however you want to mount your stuff, okay? This big one's got a lock, the small ones do not, but you can still tilt those and do all that stuff. Vertx Trail Slacker pants, Ultra Lone Peak shoes, and Alps, fueled by Alp, right? Man, Tom, I really hope they see this and they send us free shit. This would be amazing. This is the one that I'm being a doucher about. I love these things. I truly love them. They're really good. And then our good buddy, Chad Barber at Wesson, right? This is his watch called the Roamer, completely handmade by him, components and all that. He gets that stuff, then he puts it together, assembles it. Phenomenal, man. Automatic movement. I'm really grateful that Tom and I both have one. So super awesome watch. Check out Wesson. Other than that, man, Hydro Flask, Ear Pro right here. This is some Leupold stuff they gave us. These guys, auto engineering noise barriers. Action target stand and targets. And then I love that bag over there, by the way. That's our Vertx bag. It is, maybe don't look at it. We probably shouldn't have done that. It's messy, and I just keep packing more and more crap in it. Like, there's a spot for something new all the time. Before you know it, it's like 70 pounds. I'm like, I probably shouldn't have packed it this heavy. But great bag. Vertx has a code. I think it's BAER. We have a code for Vertx, which we never tell anybody. I always forget about it. BAER. All right, other than that, that's it. To do this, you're gonna need to be. So as long as your wrist is a little below your, that we're gonna need to be actually to shoot the. As that first bullet passes, that looks stupid.